And welcome everybody to Beyond Movies. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. Now in HD. Kyle.
Well, nearly. It's technically I'm in HD. The camera is full HD, but the quality you're seeing here is still probably dog shit. But it looks better, and I can do this, which
You could
it's
do
not
that
really.
anyway, mate. Oh, there you go. There you
I
go.
can do that.
Now it's following you.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm expecting the old buds.
oh, you weren't even connected.
No,
No. He was like, get filming, mate. Not even ready, mush. You're not even ready.
not even ready.
Right, Kyle.
Completely forgot.
I believe it was Saturday morning. I sent you this story. This is official. I believe it's Ulrich Thomsen, Danish actor. He has been cast in the Lanterns TV show. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this person's work, I'm going to tell you right now. Banshee. He plays Kai Proctor in Banshee. If you haven't seen Banshee, it's amazing. I don't think Kyle's seen Banshee.
I've seen one episode, and I didn't stop watching it because I didn't like it. I think I was in the middle of watching something else at the time.
Yeah.
I think it might have been my rewatch of Thrones.
So yeah, Ulrich Thomsen is going to be coming on and playing Sinestro in the Lanterns TV show. Now, I could glaze this guy all day, you know, from being in Banshee, the show that just went on for... Don't look at me like that, mate. Don't look at me
What,
like
what do
that.
you mean? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like a good old TGI chicken
You
glaze? What
know what I mean by that, mate.
do you mean by that?
Stop it. Because we're going to get off course like we always do and start giggling about shit, and then I'm going to end up speaking to a fucking plank again. Now, granted, I ain't drawn a face on it yet, but it's coming.
That's disappointing.
You're disappointing. So, Kyle, are you a bit shocked that they're going with Sinestro in the Lanterns TV show? Classic Green Lanterns villain, obviously. Uh,
Uh,
might
I
not even be a villain yet. You know, obviously we know Sinestro sometimes starts off as a Green Lantern and then goes to being a Yellow Lantern. I believe he was played by Mark Strong in Ryan Reynolds'
yeah.
Green Lantern film. So,
I don't know much about the character, so I can't really say anything about the casting, especially when I don't know the actor's work either. I ain't really got anything to say about it. If they're doing something different with the character as opposed to what they've done previously, like in the Green Lantern's film, then okay, cool. Because I think I've seen half of Green Lantern, the Ryan Reynolds one,
the good or
and
bad half.
I don't. It just movie. That's it. There's not much I can say about that film. I mean, Taika was in it. That was pretty cool to see, I suppose. Early Taika, but other than that, I couldn't say much about it.
Yeah, no. Do you know what this casting tells me? The team at DC are just going for talent. Now, which you can say that about Marvel sometimes as well. They cast someone like completely unknown. You think, who the fuck is this? And then, you know, like when you get Chris Evans as Captain America, you get, well, he wasn't completely unknown, but you know what I mean. You get someone like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Sort of casting like that makes you go, these guys know what they're doing. And I'm so excited for this Lanterns TV show now. I was already, you know, after watching Rebel Ridge with RPA, I was like, alright, I'm really excited for Lanterns now. And now with this casting, I can't wait. My only wish is that James Gunn, if you're listening, make sure Lanterns comes out at the same time in the UK as it does in the US. Because Creature Commandos didn't, and it's still not out in the UK, and that show's finished. Now, luckily, I went over to America, watched all 7 episodes of Creature Commandos on a friend of mine's HBO Max account, then flew home.
Oh, so that's where you went.
Yeah.
uh,
So
America.
that's how I've watched Creature Commandos. I would never steal entertainment, you know.
Surprised the plane even took off, mate.
Mate, do you want a smack? Don't think I won't. Next time I see you, mate. Next time I see you, mate, I'm gonna pull your pants down and smack your cock.
Jesus, it's a very explicit image
Yeah,
we've given our viewers.
Yeah, that's just how we roll. So anyway, looks like don't put your hands up like that. So it looks like they're gonna be rolling with lanterns this year. They're gonna be filming it. I know we're getting it next year, but yeah, please make it come out on the same day in the UK, because shit just gets spoilt. It's alright, you know, if it comes out, you know, the night before, and it's like, alright, the next day, I will disable YouTube on my phone, I'll turn off all social media, and I'll wait until I get home, and then watch the episode, and then that's fine. I don't mind doing that for a day, but you can't do that for 3 months, waiting for a show to come out. So
yeah, it's again. I agree with you. I do think, you know, when obviously it happened with Disney Plus, that was a completely different thing. That was like a service rollout thing. So that can be excused. This, on the other hand, is like, why? It genuinely sucks, because I had that little surprise of Batman showing up, and I would have been cool to see that, you know, as it came out, and watching the show and whatnot. And it sucks, man, that
it
just
only happens with James Gunn shows.
Yeah.
As well. It happened with Peacemaker, which didn't come out in the UK at the same time.
Yeah.
Which really fucking sucked. We had to find a way to get around that. And it happened with Creature Commandos. But the Penguin that came out a month before, finished like a month before Creature Commandos came out, was doing the same day as the US. So it can't be a DC licensing thing or anything like that. I feel like James just forgets about us and thinks, oh, fuck yeah, got to put it on that little island.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, sort it out, James Gunn. Otherwise, I'll get the Zack Snyder fans on you. Anyway. Oh, what a perfect segue, actually. Speaking about someone that's really pissed off Zack Snyder fans. Oh, God. We got a new TV spot for Superman. And do you know what? I really enjoyed it. Right? And before I say this right now, here's what I'm going to say. David Corenswet is a very handsome man. He's better looking, and it will be more better looking than I will ever be in my life. This one a good angle. His eyes look pretty fucked in this, but I did love. I did love the spot. I liked the flying, the spinning. Very Adam Warlock. We knew when we seen the Adam Warlock flying, it was going to be. So that's what the Superman flying is going to be a little bit like. So it already kind of had a tease. Yeah,
it works. It looks good. I know, like, a lot of Snyder fans are like, "Oh, it looks shit compared to whatever." And it's like,
we're Snyder fans.
We're Snyder fans.
We're just not that deep in the air.
This is different, and you need to stop comparing it to, you know, obviously Cavill's. If you're still comparing Cavill's Superman to this, then go away. Seriously, like, it's why?
Well, no, I think it's not going to be happy that they're compared because they're the same character. They will be compared no matter what. But I feel like people who there's certain levels of it, and people who just won't accept that there's going to be a new Superman. Then that's when it starts getting a bit.
Yeah, I mean, just get over it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We've had several Batmans. You've not complained about that. So let us have a fresh take on Superman. This is what the people wanted. It's what, you know, everyone wanted in terms of Superman. Yeah.
Because the Snyderverse was not fucking in a good state. It was all over the place. There were some good films in there and stuff like that, but it's not like it was a consistent sort of, you know, success after success after success. You know, you get something like, you get a year where Batman v Superman comes out and it's like, alright, it wasn't terrible, but it was like, you know, wasn't as good as it should have been. And then you get Suicide Squad at the end of the year, and you're like, fuck me, DC's in a bad fucking spot. But then at the beginning of the year after, you get something like Wonder Woman, which was amazing. But
Yeah.
they just want a solid
Yeah,
foundation there.
no, it wasn't, and especially when they were trying so hard to catch up with Marvel, with like Civil War and
Yeah.
doing Avengers and Justice League and I'm saying like Avengers had been out for a while and they wanted to jump straight to that level, without building up these other characters. They're like, oh no, here's Cyborg, here's Wonder Woman, here's the Flash, and just show them straight away in these films.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't really work. Unfortunately for the Snyderverse, I still enjoy the Snyder Cut. I thought it was really good. I still love Cavill's Superman, and I really enjoy Man of Steel. The more I watch it, the more I really, really enjoy it.
It is
and
a film, the more you watch it, the more you love it. And it don't matter how many times you've watched it. Every time you watch it, you're going to love it more.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. Like, people are going to compare the Supermans. Like, it's the same character. I get it. But you need to sort of like come away from this. Oh, this looks bad because it's different.
Yeah.
That's where I'm seeing the issue. It's meant to be different in a sense. It's someone else's style. It's someone else's take on it. Yeah, fair enough, if you don't like the style, then all right, that's fine. It's subjective. But if you are constantly comparing it and just calling it shit, then you're not going to really get anywhere.
Yeah, no. No, you're not. And look, this new teaser starts. It's giving us all these, same things we got. It is basically a cut down version of the trailer, just with a few different shots in there. And it's giving us all this stuff about hope and stuff like that. Kyle, you getting your cock sucked right now?
No, I've just had barely any fucking chips by the looks of it, but
Show us your pizza mush. Go on.
it looks horrible.
It's half of it's disappeared. Yeah. Pizza's up. Anyway, Superman teaser, I suppose that's a good way to segue onto the next topic. Don't worry, Cal, you keep scranning, mate. We'll get through this. Right. Fantastic Four. Kyle. I get right excited whenever we get to talk about Fantastic Four. Because it feels like we haven't talked about it enough in the nearly a year since we've had the cast announcement. Who am I kidding? We've talked about Fantastic Four all the time. Now, Fantastic Four is releasing around the same time Deadpool and Wolverine did. So it only makes sense that we get our first teaser for Fantastic Four with the soup. Mate, how the fuck did you just eat that piece? We get our first teaser for the Fantastic Four with the upcoming Super Bowl, where they drop all the trailers. And I feel like we're going to get another Superman trailer there. I feel like we're going to get a Thunderbolts trailer. We're getting a Fantastic Four trailer. And we'll get like a Captain America promo because it's coming out the week of the Super Bowl. Maybe something for Daredevil. Who knows? I feel like Marvel are going to go big on this one. But, Kyle, do you think we'll get our first Fantastic Four teaser at the Super Bowl? I'm pretty sure it's confirmed now. Anyway, so what kind of stuff do you think we're going to see in it? In this teaser?
I think it's going to be just showing off this new world mainly. I don't think
Yes.
there's going to be too much action. I think it's going to be very almost like reminiscent of the Superman trailer in a weird way. It's kind of like bringing these characters home essentially, and really showing it some love. And these heroes are sort of like, as you view them, as you sort of see them in the comics, they're sort of the hopeful characters and the more lighthearted of the bunch. Obviously, there is darker storylines that they go down and stuff like that, but as they are, I mean, look at them, they're like a happy family, and I think that's the kind of, which is what it's supposed to be, yeah, and I think that's one of the great things about it. I think, yeah, it will show us a bit of this new world. You're not really going to see too much of this. Obviously, you won't see anything about the story. I probably would say maybe the CGI is going to look relatively okay. I mean, they've had plenty of time to work on this now as well. Um, as long as people don't have fucked up eyes like Superman, I think we're in for a good little TV spot, a little teaser.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that we're going to be getting this teaser almost a year out from when we got the cast announcement,
Hmm.
which is nuts. It's because that was fuck it, that would have been Valentine's Day last year, and we decided to go see Madam Web. Uh, but we literally walked out of Madam Web so we could come home and record a video about Fantastic Four, the casting news.
Simpler times, man.
Yeah.
Simpler times.
Do you think we're gonna get like a full thing reveal? Because we know even from like the D23 footage and Comic Con footage that they have shown people have been quite reserved with that. But I think that's because they hadn't really had anything shot with Ben Grimm like that yet. I think
Possibly, I think. Yeah, it'll be one shot.
I think we're gonna get a
Maybe him
trailer shot.
lifting something.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a trailer shot of like Infinity War trailer. The trailer that I didn't watch until I got up to yours and we watched it together for the first time, and that shot of them all running towards the camera. I think we'll get like a shot like that, which is just specifically for a trailer, just to show off the costumes and Ben Grimm, Human Torch fully lit up. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited to see where this will put my anticipation for this film, because I'm really excited for Fantastic Four, but I just haven't seen anything from it. But I'm still really excited from it, so I'm hoping the more I see, the more excited I get. So yeah. Anyway, makes sense. Super Bowl first trailer. Why not? And we got that Kendrick Lamar halftime show. God, I hope he sings Not Like Us right in the middle of that pitch. It'd be brilliant. In front of all them people calling Drake a paedophile. Right. Next topic. We got some Russo news. We got some of that good Russo news, Kyle. You know what I mean? You them Russo brothers. Obviously, we know the Russo brothers are returning to direct Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, it looks like they're going to be sticking around after that, and they are going to be overseeing the X-Men in the MCU. The Mutant Saga. Now, this isn't they're going to be directing every X-Men film or anything like that. They're going to be overseeing it. This is sort of like a similar role to what James Gunn had before he left Marvel. James Gunn was pretty much Kevin Feige's right-hand man. And anything cosmic or out like that, James Gunn were looking over it. James Gunn were looking over the scripts for most things for Marvel, looking at them and going, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. With him and Kevin. So, the Russo brothers are next best thing. Now, I've seen a little bit of backlash for this. I don't get why, because the Russo brothers have given us 4 of the greatest Marvel films ever. Not MCU, Marvel. 4 of the greatest comic book films ever. The Russos have given us. Now, I get it. If you look at the record after they left the MCU, it's not been so great. But they're batting 100% in this world. So I'm 100% with them looking over the X-Men. Like, maybe they will direct the first X-Men film, which I'm not opposed to either. Ask me again after Secret Wars and Doomsday come out, I might be like, no, keep them the fuck away from it. But right now, I'm up for that. I don't have a problem with it at all. The Russos have done nothing but show the talent when it comes to working in this environment. So to me, it's not an issue. And it makes sense. So Kyle, what do you think of the Russos coming into oversee the X-Men?
It's hard to see. It is and it isn't. It's so for me. I know the X-Men are a very important aspect of Marvel. I'm not saying they're not.
The X-Men will be the thing that
But
carry him through another 10 year after we go
yeah,
through this.
yeah, and the thing is though, Callum, like I'm not saying that they couldn't direct or they couldn't oversee it and do a good job. It's just I would much rather have them, be in charge of the main, be alongside Kevin Feige and controlling more of the main MCU aspect of it. And I guess it does take a bit of weight off Kevin Feige's shoulders that he doesn't have to worry about the X-Men as much because it's in good hands. I get that, but at the same time, Kevin Feige's not going to be able to do all this by himself, and I think it would have been nice if, I'm not saying the Russos won't help in other aspects of the MCU going forward, but I just, it's fair to say yes to it because they have a fantastic track record when it comes to Marvel stuff. But for me, I would have much more preferred them focusing on the Avengers kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Right. That aspect of it. But I'm up for it. I'd like to see what they do. They haven't disappointed me so far, at least when it comes to Marvel projects. I mean, outside of that, like you said, it's not been too hot. But it's good to know that they're sticking around though, and I'm happy that they are. It means they didn't just come back to the MCU and be like, directing the Avengers films as like, oh, well, fuck it, we'll just do it because everyone wants us to do it and Marvel paying us a big bag of Marvel money. Instead, it's more like, okay, no, we're sticking around now and we're going to go fully invested into it. Going forward for the Russo brothers, though, outside of Marvel, this is very much like, okay, it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything else now. They're going to be very much Marvel focused, and that's fine. That's okay. Yeah. It's a moneymaker. Who wouldn't want to? And it's become these comic book characters and these movies have become so big in their own right. They're in a league of their own. Yeah, they're not Scorsese level of quality or anything like that, but they're up there, and people enjoy these films. Like
Captain
you were saying.
Soldier.
Yeah, you were saying as well, like, previously, not today, but you've said people aren't sick of, Marvel movies or comic book movies. They're just sick of shit films.
Yeah.
And that's true. It's very true. There's no real fatigue with it because if there was fatigue in superhero movies, there'd be fatigue for gangster films. There'd be fatigue for war films. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. What people try and attribute it to is Westerns. Say, well, Westerns were the big thing. And then Westerns, nobody went to go see them anymore. It's like, no. Western, I'd say a Western is a genre of film. You can make a comic book movie be any genre you want. Comic book movie isn't a genre. It's just, this is based on a comic. You look at Logan, that's kind of a Western. Even The Mandalorian is kind of, I know this is Star Wars, but even The Mandalorian is a Western. Especially the first 2 seasons. But what I want to bring it back to Kyle is, I think Kevin Feige would be the first man to admit that maybe he could have done with a little bit of help throughout the multiverse saga. Which, I don't blame him. If he thinks like that. I mean, I think the original plan, definitely, was to have him and James, stick around and do that together. And then obviously James went to DC. Don't blame him, James has said himself he prefers DC, over Marvel, which is fair enough as well. And for the people that saying, that will, because, there will be people that will turn on James Gunn, especially like Marvel fans, like, he ditched us for DC and all this and that, these salty people. And it's like, well, James Gunn's favourite, film is a Marvel film, Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. So, I mean, take that with what you will. I think he likes it all, obviously. And if you're
Yeah,
James
sure.
Gunn in your career and Marvel comes to you and says, we want you to direct this film, you're going to say yes, obviously. And it has led on to bigger and better things for him. But yeah, anyway, the Russos. I think it's a great choice to just look over, be that helping hand that Kevin Feige needs. Especially when you look at how they... don't get me wrong, I love the first two Avengers movies. I love Avengers, and I love Age of Ultron. Joss Whedon directed them as you go back on the channel, you hear me say this quite a lot. He directed the Avengers, the 6 core Avengers, as one character. It felt like there wasn't really any individualism to each character, which worked great for them movies. But you look at how the Russos direct, and it's... No. Cap is Cap. Yeah, fair enough, they had the benefit of like, oh, we're going to spread this out over 2 movies, so I know I can give more time to Thor here, but give him fewer scenes in Endgame and have, Cap be more prominent in Endgame. But it felt like each character was more of their own character instead of...
I want to say another thing as well, Callum, and I think you'll agree with me. It kind of felt like the Iron Man character, it wasn't really going anywhere. And I get it for like, the first 3, the original trilogy, of course, it just felt like there was, especially when it came to the third one, I kind of felt like, what is Iron Man's purpose? Sort of moving forward, he's just kind of there now, in a sense. And, even in the Captain America film, it gave Iron Man such a great purpose.
The Russos give him a really great arc with, especially with stuff going on behind the scenes, like, where's Pepper? It's like, oh, we're on a break and stuff. Little stuff like that. And
it's great. I agree, Colin. I have faith in this, and I think it's probably the best idea. Of course you do have Feige there, and he will have help from all sorts of directors and fantastic people with great talent, writers and producers and the like. So I think this is fine. This is a good call. This is a good move for Marvel.
Yeah, and maybe Kevin Feige were like, I need help here, and it takes a bigger person to admit when some things might be a bit too much for him.
Yeah.
So let's do it, Russo brothers, with the MCU till 2035. Let's do it. It'll be longer than that. 2037. Fucking hell, Kyle, how old will we be in 2037? It's like halfway to dead.
I want to say another thing as well. I do feel like, obviously, maybe not now, but maybe in the future when they decide to go down the route of other things, you've got Ryan Reynolds there as well. Maybe he's done with Deadpool or something like that. It would be nice to see him in a sort of role of helping behind the scenes, because he knows these characters, he loves these characters, and I think it's me dreaming here, but I think Ryan Reynolds, if he was to help in some sort of way, maybe in like a trilogy or something, kind of like how Seth Rogen is now more of like a producer rather than doing acting, and he's been a part of some great projects, The Boys being one of them.
Yeah.
And it would be really cool to see Ryan Reynolds take that role if he's eventually, hangs up the katanas and he's no longer Deadpool.
I think if Ryan Reynolds got his own sort of area, it'd probably be like an X-Force.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's like something not as big and as substantial as, of course, the X-Men, but something small like the X-Force kind of stuff. I think he'd handle that very, very well. And there's Sean Levy as well. You can't forget him. He's a fantastic director. Maybe Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds maybe do like a nice sort of team up and work out the X-Force or something. Yeah. There's billions of possibilities that could happen from this. And it's... I think you're right in Kevin Feige. If he, did ask for the help, there's no shame in that. It's a good thing. I'm happy for this.
Yeah, no, definitely, because you got to think he's going to be bringing in the X-Men. right? Which is a whole new cast of characters. Which, you know, as soon as you bring the X-Men in, that's another team, you know, with loads of different rogues and stuff like that. And I don't mean Rogue, the character, like loads of different villains, complex villains who need time, you know, to work with. And, you know, and let's not forget, if Kevin Feige's doing the X-Men stuff, you know, he's also got Fantastic Four, which is another team. You know, who knows how far the Thunderbolts is going to go after Thunderbolts, depending on the success of that. He's going to have to watch over that. There's all these other characters like Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, you know, and then possibly dealing with recasts of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, to bring them into this new universe. So, he is going to be a busy man. And like I say, the X-Men side of it is just as big as everything I just mentioned on that other side of it, so... yeah. Anyway, Kyle, I think that'll do us for today. You enjoy that pizza, mate. Do you want to tell
Pizza.
people? You want to tell people what to do?
Pizza.
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 Pizza. Right, guys, remember to like the video,
Pizza.
subscribe to the channel,
Pizza.
and if you can,
Pizza.
lick your own balls, because that's pretty impressive.
And pizza.
And pizza. See you later, guys.